Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually filming the introduction for the video a little bit late because a lot has changed since I started filming this video. So really quickly, I originally started this video as an aglaonema nursery tour. I made an appointment with somebody, but unfortunately, this person did not show up. So I waited 3 hours in the nursery area and I ended up looking at other nurseries. I brought my dad with me. He started to get into aroids, so we ended up getting so many aroids. It's crazy. Personally, for me, I usually get small baby plants and I like to watch them grow. My dad really likes them big and huge. So things got crazy in the middle of the filming, and then there was a lot of negotiation, a lot of shopping, so we did not film any of that. But I did give you a plant haul afterward to show you what he got, which is very exciting. And also I ended this video with a little bit of a sad note in that the nursery that we're about to see actually was flooded by the annual Jakarta rainfall or flooding, which people here are actually kind of used to, and it's getting worse and worse every year. So global warming is very real and I just want to call it out. Yeah, so without further ado, I guess let's get started. So we are in the first nursery on our way to the aglaonema nursery, and that's my dad over there. And something stopped me in my tracks. Look at these bromeliads. Holy moly, they're all flowering at the same time. Or maybe they just put the ones that are flowering out here. So I'm gonna give a quick tour. Look at this beautiful, I don't know, they look like they're painted brush. And it's starting to rain, so I gotta hurry. That one's really pretty. And then this one is actually my favorite in here. So this is starting to flower, and this is what the flower looks like. And this is just about to open. But look at the leaves. This is beautiful, striped, a frosted striped with really beautiful purple underside. This is a really pretty plant. And this one here is looking very nice too. This looks like a rubber, it looks like a toy. And the leaves are just so dramatic. So I actually contacted Icha from Sanggar Kemuning. Her family actually they are experts in Bromeliad, so I'm gonna see if I can do a Bromeliad episode soon. That one, look at this. Oh my god, these are baby flowers. I think they're going to expand in size. This is so pretty. Oh my god, I want to take all of them home with me. And that one here is very nice. Look at that color. I don't think it shows up really well on camera because I'm looking at the screen now. It looks much better in person. And I love how the water will pool in here and they'll drink up that water. But you can't let water pool when you have it grown indoors. Keep that in mind. So yeah, very, very pretty. This is a really beautiful anthurium. I really love the dramatic leaves. Look at the leaf design on these. Very pretty. Let me see it sideways because this is very three-dimensional. Look at the veins. It's so nice. It caught my eye from far away. And then look at those aerial roots down here. This is so nice. I love looking at aerial roots, especially on these anthuriums. And again, another view of the leaves. This is just so pretty. Very nice veins. This is like a rosette type anthurium, I guess. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's dragon fruit. Look at that. It's so wild. I love it. I've got a small pot of these. They look quite nice actually when they're organized in a smaller pot. Here's a variegated agave. Look at that. Whoa. That sheath is amazing. It's very defiant. It looks like it's trying to announce itself to the world. This is really nice. So this is pretty insane. This is grafted. So this is a, I don't know, Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus. It's so fat, but it's grafted onto a cactus. I've never seen it grown like this before. But I never understood how to graft cacti, but one day maybe I will dabble in it. This is a dragon fruit, if I'm not wrong. So they're basically taking energy from below, transporting upwards, and then feeding this plant up top. Very interesting. This is an insane pot of peace lily. It's got just one flower, but this is huge. This is a variegated one. I've never seen them so big in a pot. I've got many pots of these, but they're all like tiny clumps. So they are going to get very bushy over time. Very nice. Hey, don't run away, don't walk away from me. Say hi. Yeah, she's not having it. Look at those apishkia down here. They look really good in hanging baskets, but then when you put them in the ground like this, they kind of put out these stolons that propagate themselves. Very, very nice. This is a very, very underrated plant. Look at this crone over here. It's so big, it's like a tree form. High five. So here's a wax ivy, and actually I have the variegated one of these, but surprisingly the non-variegated looks much better. They look like miniature dragon heads, and it's very succulent like leaves. So the variegated, not this one actually, the variegated one, I don't see it around here, but I'm gonna insert a picture of what it looks like. This looks nicer unvariegated. Somehow this is not as popular as the variegated. This is so nice. Here's a flowering type anthurium, and I believe this is still a juvenile form. And I wanted to show you here that this is what is commonly known to be the flower, but it's actually just a modified leaf that's turned red in color. As you can see, it's the same shape as the leaf before that. So the flower is actually over here. I'm not sure of the anatomy exactly, but yeah, this is a good example of the modified leaf here. I believe this is called the spedex, and then if I'm not wrong, that's the male part and the female part is in the bottom. And I'm not sure if they reproduce asexually. I need to figure out, because hang on, actually yes, anthuriums do reproduce asexually. So you can kind of, what do you call this? Move the pollen around, get it to the female side, and then it should bear fruit and seed. Hopefully. This is quite pretty. Look at this. Love the color. And they're always flowering, so this is quite nice to have. And if you look closely at the leaves, the shapes are actually quite pretty too. I don't have a flowering type anthurium. I am eyeing the anthurium safari if I ever want one of these, but I haven't found one yet in my area. So this is the philodendron black cherry. I thought this was a pink princess, but I was wrong. So the leaves are completely black. And look at the variegation on these. This is really pretty. This is actually more expensive than the pink princess, but I'm afraid to take this on because with my pink princess, I'm sure you guys are aware that the variegation is very, very stress inducing. They're very unreliable. But yeah, I'm gonna film this today just to show you what this looks like, because it's my first time seeing it, and I'm sure many of you guys will appreciate seeing this plant. Here's a variegated palm. Look at the shape of these. It looks like a bow tie. Hello. This is very, very pretty. But I don't have any experience with palms, so I'm not sure how to care for these. I think they like pretty bright light. And they're quite heavy feeders and thirsty plants, at least when you're keeping them outdoors. Very nice. I hope I can get this someday, but not today. Okay, so some of you are probably wondering why we're suddenly back home. Well, two things happened. Number one, the aglaonema nursery that we were supposed to need stood us up for 3 hours. So that didn't happen. But then my dad, who came along with me to the nursery, ended up buying all these plants. That and back there, they're trying to landscape it. So yeah, it became a little bit exciting. We were just busy buying, so I didn't film the process. And it took us about 2 to 3 hours. So I'm gonna give you guys a tour of these plants. But first, I think they have to be placed at their desired locations, I guess. So I'll be back with a quick tour. So this is actually about 2 weeks after the last clip. I'm sorry I've been procrastinating filming this. Been so busy, but let's get to it. Let's look around at the plants that my dad got. So this one is a really beautiful alocasia, if I'm not wrong. I don't know the name exactly. If I find out, I will name it on the screen, but I think it's got something to do with sword. Maybe like Chris or something, alocasia Chris? I'm not sure. I'm just making a fool out of myself for now. This leaf is yellowing. I think it's just old and tired. It's one of the earlier leaves. And then I think a new one will be coming along the way sometime soon. I can't find it. But this one will look okay here, I guess. A lot of the plants came in this nursery pot and potting mix, and it's been here for a while, I think. So I'm gonna just leave it there. I'm not gonna repot it. And I'm actually going to be climbing up this thing to look at some of the plants here. Starting with this one right here. This is the philodendron silver sword, or the hashtatum. And I'm sorry I can't get closer because there's this thing along here and I'm not wearing proper shoes for this. But yeah, this is a silver sword. I've got a tiny one that refused to get big. That's a melanochrysum in narrow form. Look at how torn up that new leaf is. And I'm doing a video on the melanochrysum soon. I don't know if it'll be out by the time this video is released, but melanochrysums, they don't like to be moved. So when you move them, you bring them home or you place them somewhere different from when they're used to, they're gonna lose a few leaves. They're gonna stress out. And then the new leaves are gonna be a little bit more adapted to your space. So you need to give them time. Just know that melanochrysums, they are tricky. Even if you move them from a drier place to a more humid place where they should be happier, they will still do this. So this is my experience with melanochrysums. Behind here, shy guys here. This is, I believe, the Alocasia watsoniana. I've actually got these grown from little rhizomes that I just got. I got them really cheap, but my dad got the bigger version of these. And then back there, I believe it's a Homalomina. I think that was propagated. It came in a big pot, so my dad managed to, to propagate it. Yeah, so it's been propagated. As you can see, it's leaning against some stick there. But the plant, I'm sure we'll see later, is much bigger than this. So you just have to be very careful here because I'm just standing on the pool's edge. So this is a huge Alocasia. It's bigger than a tree. It's a black stemmed Alocasia. Look at how beautiful the black stem looks. Let's look at it from underneath. Yeah. Very stunning. I love the shiny black, petioles maybe, and then there's a main stem that came out from here. This is a pretty plant. Actually, this is on my wish list for a while. In fact, I do have a baby one, but the baby one is kind of dead for now. It's trying to put out a final new leaf, so hopefully I'll rescue it. This is so pretty. Look at the new leaf here. But yeah, this plant can get enormous. It can get huge. They actually like direct sunlight and full sun. Let me see what we have back there. Nope, these are old plants. There's a Mexicanum over there and a Dieffenbachia, which I'm propagating for a video. You're not meant to see that. You have to unsee that. And here is some Alocasia. I'm not sure of the exact species, but it's huge. It's about 4 times the size of my face. And here we have a Monstera, I believe they call it the Adansonii sp. And they said that this is just a very old Adansonii that they kind of poached, I think, from a resort or a villa. So I'm not sure. Well, we have it now, so whatever. But it's being attached to a tree, so hopefully it will get bigger leaves. It will establish. Look at those aerial roots. Let me zoom in. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm filming with one hand. Look at those aerial roots. It's just ready to take over the tree. So these guys, they do need to climb onto things to maintain their big leaves, or else their leaves are just gonna get smaller and smaller. And back there, we've got a shy Homalomina. Actually, my dad just moved it here today because it was getting very, very bright light. So I think they do like a little bit more of shade back here. And look at the fruits there. So naughty, right? Yeah, this is a really huge Homalomina, and I really love them for the leaves. I believe I showed this plant in close-up during one of my earlier nursery tours, and my dad ended up getting this Titanarum as well. I don't know what the other name for this plant is. I think it's got other names, but it looks happy here. It's being supported by a pole and it can take direct sunlight. Back here we have the philodendron marble variegata. So I'm not sure what the name of this plant is, but I have a feeling internationally it's called something else. I really love that new variegated leaf. I'm sorry I'm zooming in. I normally don't like zooming in digitally on my cameras, but this is a huge plant. My dad likes big leaves. He doesn't like small leaves. Personally, for me, I prefer smaller plants that can get big. So I like to have them grow big under my care and not have it bought at this size already. This is a really pretty philodendron. I'm not sure of the species, but if I look at the main stem here, the trunk-like stem, it looks to me like it's a Stomatophyllum. And I remember at the nursery, I told the guy that this is probably a Stomatophyllum, but he said that this is a philodendron. So I don't know. Comment down below. Do philodendrons put out these main stems like that. Finally, back here we have the Alocasia portei, if I'm not wrong. I don't think it's doing that well here. You know, it's probably acclimatizing. It's like got a lot of poles supporting it. It's like crutches for plants. But these alocasias, they're not easy. So I do have a smaller one of this plant, and it's kind of a struggle to grow them. I believe they like bright light, and they cannot be overwatered. They get yellow leaves very easy. And then they do shed a lot of leaves before they put out new ones. So not the easiest and not the, what do you call this? It's just stressful to have around basically. So if you want one of these, just be mindful of that. Finally, we're in this area here, and I believe this is probably burnt. I'm not sure. This is a philodendron that, oh my God, I wish I can get closer. The leaves, they do split. I don't know if you can see from here. I can't. Honest to God, I can't get closer. So yeah, their leaves split in a really beautiful way. I remember this was very, very affordable for this size. It's not expensive. So I don't know, let me see. That's the back of the patio. I don't know if you can see how beautiful the lobe of the leaf or the back of the leaves, they kind of intersect each other. And finally, we have here the philodendron, if I'm not wrong, the jungle boogie. And I have a small version of these. They can get enormous. They can get even bigger than this. And yeah, this is a robust grower, very easy to grow. They don't like to be overwatered. But when you have a plant this size, I think it's just gonna adapt very easily. And look at those inflorescence, or is it fruits? I'm not sure. I think these are the inflorescence, actually, the flowers. I love the color. And with Ring of Fire, they do put out this really beautiful pink sheath here, or growth point. And then the new leaf would be very rubbery and pink. I really adore the baby plants, the baby leaves of these guys. So I guess this is all my dad's plants that we got. And I'm sorry I cut the nursery tour short because we were just busy dealing with these plants. And before I let you go, I just want to let you guys know a story. I want to share a story with you guys. That as of editing this video now, the nursery was actually under water, like it got flooded, and I posted that on Instagram, and I'm going to post some pictures on the screen to show you what the flooding looks like. So the images that you see on the screen are disturbing. I just want to warn you. So the clip that you saw earlier in this video were actually filmed 2 weeks ago at this exact same nursery. So a lot of the plants there are probably dead. So this is a really dark, and how do you call this? Like just basically a really dark way to end a video. I just want to remind you guys that nature gives, but nature also takes. And if there's a cycle of birth and destruction, while it is not always beautiful, but we just have to appreciate it with marvel and hope that the nursery people can recover their losses. And if they do need help, I hope that they can reach out to the plant community. They can reach out to me. I'll give them a platform to see if we can raise some money to recover the losses. And what else do I want to say? Yeah, also Jakarta is sinking, you guys. Global warming is real, and urbanization is also very real. We have been sourcing our land and our water usage irresponsibly, and we're now paying the price for it. So Jakarta does get flooding every year, and the flooding keeps getting worse and worse, and millions of lives will be disrupted. So I just want to let you guys know to be more responsible with the environment wherever you are. And yeah, maybe thoughts and prayers for the Jakarta people and the nurseries especially, who lost probably a lot of properties, and maybe some people here who lost their homes and their livelihood. Yeah, sorry to end this video so negatively. I hope to see you on a more positive note in the next video. I'm @botanist on Instagram. If you want to DM me on any questions regarding plant care and propagations, I'll try my best to get back to you. Meanwhile, do take care and stay safe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.